Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, how is everyone doing on this fine Wednesday? I see Sky Fox in the chat. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Darren Mitchell, hey. Leave a comment if you guys are here. William Plays, hello, hello. Fat Elvis, good morning. Bitcoin Bull, good morning. Jacob, good morning from Miami. Jonathan, good morning, brother. Jake Wedern. Mikal is back in the house, better now. My man, good night for me here. Hi, boss. Salut. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, guys. I think today we have some pretty interesting price action. Look at that, Mikal. How dare you leave us 2 whole days? That's crazy, considering I posted a video update on Monday. I took 1 day off. 1 day, guys, come on. Morning, took a loss on a short on Bitcoin this morning. Howdy, Matt, Yakub, hello, hello, hello. All right, guys, let's get this going. Yo, Matt, I've lost around 25K in trading. Well, let's go over the scenarios for Bitcoin because I think that we're into a pretty interesting period in the markets. And it should be a period that will allow you to make profits trading this market. Of course, guys, I have to kick off the stream by saying that nothing that I discuss on the channel should be construed as financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. You have to remember that I'm just a guy on the internet sharing all of his own personal trades and his overall market analysis. Now that we got that out of the way, I think that Bitcoin will be providing some very, very interesting opportunities to come. If you've been following the higher time frame analysis, it's very much been the same. Grigor, hello, my man. He is back. Bearish on the 1 hour. Good morning, everyone. So, your beard is all grown out. I guess you enjoyed your trip. Yeah, I look a little bit scruffy, guys. I'm keeping it real with you. My flight this morning was at 5 in the morning, and I managed to get back before the US market opened. Didn't even freshen up, just plugged my camera stuff in and set up the live stream because I know that you guys are waiting for this live stream. And let's try to identify some opportunities in this market. I think that we're in a period of the market where, quite frankly, it's just been excellent to sit on your hands. You know, not taking a trade is a trade. And I think that this is something that a lot of people struggle with, is when to actually allocate to the markets, whether that means going long or short, and when to actually sit on your hands. Now, I've been pretty comfortable sitting on my hands in recent times, mainly because I'm still holding my existing big swing Bitcoin short, which I plan to add to relatively soon. I'm also holding the Bitcoin long that I took from the lows at $58,000 within the community. You probably know this by now. This isn't a surprise. We've been talking about it across many videos. The updates within the community have been the same in the sense of I haven't really been adding to positions yet, but whatever happens, the community is ready because we've seen this kind of price action in bear markets. Guys, something else that I just want to bring up. I'm doing this to try to help you guys out as swing traders. I'm getting a lot of messages recently saying, man, why aren't you taking this trade? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? At my core, I am not a scalper. Can I scalp on the live streams from time to time? Yes. In fact, that's how I started trading the markets. But I've developed into a swing trader, which is a lot more chill in the sense of, yes, when I enter with size, but I don't enter a gazillion different trades. And so if you're someone that's trading with a little bit more capital and you're interested in swing trading specifically, I would highly recommend that you join the community, because that's where I share all of my insights in this market and how I'm operating from a swing trading perspective. I'm gonna say this publicly. I think that people that have a little bit more capital have been enjoying my community more than people that join with a little bit less capital. And the reason I say this is because if you have a little bit less capital to trade the markets with, and there's nothing wrong with that, you have to start somewhere. Because I'm pretty chill in my approach and I like to maintain my positions for quite some time, perhaps that style doesn't suit you to build your capital up. Now, I also want to address the fact that I got this comment the other day basically asking, is $200 too small to trade and join your group? And my answer was actually yes. I recommend building up your capital before joining. Reminder, it's a group where you trade with your own money. So you're not paying me a monthly membership, but I just thought I'd put that out there just to be fully transparent with you. I am a swing trader. I look for the best confluence zones in the market, and oftentimes, even with a few losses along the way, it doesn't really matter because the big swing positions pay me accordingly. Now that we got that out of the way, guys, let's go over the charts, let's go over the comments, and I will actually pop this open right here. Let's pop open the chat. Pop out chat. Pop out the chat. Darren Mitchell, appreciate you, mate. I enjoyed some time with friends and family, as per usual. Matt, just a suggestion for the premium group. When you post voice messages, Telegram lets me extract the text and translate it. My English isn't great, but that works perfectly. Unfortunately, I can't do the same with videos because downloads are disabled, so I can't send them to GPT for translation. The thing is, the reason why it's disabled is because I found out recently that a lot of people, not a lot, but there's quite a few people that messaged me saying, hey man, people can easily send your premium group messages to others that aren't in the group. So you can forward the messages. And so I had to disable the downloads because of that. So I'll try to do more voice messages and video updates at the same time because I know that people are a little bit more visual, right? Anyways, let's jump right into it. Market maker building shorts. Let's see, guys. Let's see. We will take a look at the liquidity. Of course we will. Of course we will. What are we thinking, boss? A pop up to the value area high around 65.5, perhaps even 67. I would love for us to grab this upside liquidity. I would absolutely love it. So here's the thing, legends. What have we discussed in terms of bear market relief rallies? What have we discussed in terms of bear market relief rallies? They're choppy, they're ugly. This is something that, if you've been tuning into the content, it's been very, very repetitive from me. And this is exactly what we're seeing. This is not clean price action for big swing trades. I will say, though, that you are getting pretty solid entries. And what I mean by this is if you actually pay attention to the pivots within this range, we tend to respect them quite well. So let's go over it. We have 30 minutes until the US stock market opens. Check this out. Check this out. So Bitcoin, let's start off with a recap. We have the lows here below $58,000. And a reminder, within the community, we went long at 58K. If you want to join, you know where to find me. But from this rally, we had a very, very crucial rejection point, and that was from the downtrending. In fact, that's where I entered my previous Bitcoin short, which you can see here, $66,800. That's where we entered it within the community. That's my most recent Bitcoin short. Now, this isn't my big short, but it is just another short that I managed to make profits on. So, rejection from the downtrending anchored VWAP. Then when we come down, we managed to temporarily hold the point of control of this range, which is where we have the most amount of volume. But not only that, we hold the point of control, we're respecting the level. Like, this is for, if you want to be a scalper, this is also very, very valid. We bounce from the point of control, and where do we get rejected from? Right at the value area high. It respects the levels almost perfectly. Now, after getting rejected at the value area high, we had a more significant drop. And where did we initially find support locally? Right at the 200-week moving average, which Bitcoin tends to find a little bit of support at in bear markets. Then we have another pop-up. This, I'll give it to you. This was a difficult one to short, this one right here. However, once we came back down, we grabbed downside liquidity right from this pivot, a significant low in the market. We've tapped into it multiple times. 1, 2, 3, and now we're getting a nice reaction. And where did we initially top out? A previous pivot again, plus the point of control. And this point of control, I was not convinced that this would be the end, simply because we managed to hold on to this uptrending anchored VWAP. So remember, we took the downtrending anchored VWAP from $82,800. Well, you can also take an uptrending anchored VWAP from, so far, the low of the bear market. Yeah, 57.7 is the low of the bear market so far. So when you manage to hold on to this, which you can see here, multiple wicks still managing to hold on, chop, 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 chop to the upside. Now, this is absolutely hideous. What are you meant to do with candles like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you include this one, 6. 6 4-hour candles basically within the exact same range. So in the past day, nothing has happened. That's what we can summarize. And so I tend to pick good times to not post videos because what was I meant to say, guys? What was I meant to say? So I do agree, Grigor, that the local trend looks exhausted. I do agree. But for me to justify adding to my existing swing short positions, I need to see a little bit higher. Otherwise, it's just not worth it from a risk to reward perspective, in my opinion, to add to my shorts yet. Because I have seen this time and time again. This can easily be, guys, like, don't kid yourselves. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right answer. And you have a high, you have a lower high, you have a lower high, high, low, lower low, lower high, lower low, potential lower high. But I would like to believe that this zone is what can create that push higher because of how strong of a reaction we had multiple times trying to break down from here. So now we have to wait and see. Someone said the stream is buffering a few times in the UK. On my side, it seems fine, but hopefully it's good. All right. All right, legends. We have 25 minutes until US market open. Oh, it's buffering as well, says Macau. All right, legends, let's go through it. M Living Diary. I can't open any broker you provide because in my country they don't work. It's hard to get a payout, so please let me know how I can join your community. I can pay fees for it. Sorry guys, my community does not charge fees. Are you sure? First, I would ask you, are you sure? Because we have a lot of options, guys. If you scroll down here, to join the community, you can join on Bluffin, Weeks, 2bit, BTCC, and even Kraken as a partner on the channel now. A lot of people are already trading on Kraken, and we can transfer you under my referral and you get access to the community. And on top of that, you also get access to Mind Pillar, which is the tool that I use from an investment standpoint and from a trading perspective, which we'll go over in today's live stream. There's a lot of options to be able to join the community, guys. Reminder, it is not a monthly membership. It is not a monthly payment. It is you trading with your own capital. If that sounds interesting, you can join with the links in the description down below. And you actually get 25% off all your trading fees if you join Bluffin today, which is my go-to crypto trading platform. Now, on top of that, if you manage to join Bluffin through my Telegram. So what this means is you DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram to join the group. You'll see an option that comes down that says Bluffin. If you join through the Telegram, you actually get 30% off your fees in terms of trading. Now this is massive because normally it requires millions of trading volume, and you get VIP 3 for 7 days plus these bonuses. So if that sounds interesting, DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram using the first link in my description down below. US stock market opens in 23 minutes. We're just chopping here. Let's see what comes out of this. There's not much clarity, guys. I mean, if you're trading this, if you've been trading in the past day, I mean, good luck. Good luck. All right, let's go through some comments. Good morning, guys. Luis Bustillo. Nice to see some familiar faces. Lagging bad right now. Lagging. You still owe us a Mind Pillar tutorial. Yes, we will work on that. I joined the community over the weekend. Smithy Will, awesome. Glad to have you inside the community. The USDT plus USDC dominance is on a long-term daily RSI support. That is bearish. Bearish AF. So let's go and take a look at that. You've heard me say multiple times that this is the most bullish chart in crypto right now. And when you have this kind of bottoming structure and you have such a key pivot and you try to break through it multiple times, once you do and you get the retest, you are just off to the races. If you didn't know, stablecoin dominance is important because when this goes up, crypto goes down. What's the point? That's a good question. Just a silly question because I'm still learning. Is a daily SFP more valid than 4 hours? Eyeing it on ADA. Yes, daily SFPs. Guys, in general, there is more accuracy. The higher the time frame. So what this means is you get your entries on a little bit lower time frames, but if you see that we've had daily SFPs, then in general, it is more accurate. And as a swing trader, I tend to pay attention more to the higher time frames than the lower time frames. Hype had a nice push to the upside. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are that just like most of the crypto market, I think that it will ultimately head lower after this summer relief rally concludes. Jay Beers, my man, nice to see you. What's the point in spending several hours a day looking at an irrelevant short-term chart? Simone, very good question, and that's exactly why I am a swing trader. If you're asking why I'm here on the stream, it's to be with you guys and explain how I've been trading this market and basically answer your questions, your concerns, anything about the crypto markets. But to keep it real with you, when I'm visiting friends in the summer and I'm enjoying myself and I'm in my big swing positions, this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. This is what swing trading is all about. I have my life and I've integrated trading into it. Trading is not my life. You see how that works? So from a swing trading perspective, you can make money in the market while still living the life that you want to live. Now this sounds like some woohoo motivational, time is money, your freedom, but I really do believe that, and that's what allows me to do what I do. So I don't stress about the 15-minute time frame like some people do. Happy days. Love from India. I managed to catch a hype long before it pumped, already TP'd and stop loss at break even. Rhino Bull, my man. Good morning, legends, J Tinman. Grigor, exactly. For a perfect entry, you have to zoom in when the price is close to the pivot. Only human. Let's hope and pray for a huge Bitcoin crash down to 35K so I can buy some heavy alts like ETH and Sol. Don't we all wish that that would happen? Legends, if you want to accumulate an asset, whether it's in crypto or it's in the stock market, you can do so when we're in attractive zones. And I firmly believe that, if you're asking me if Bitcoin will be higher in a year or two from now, the answer is yes, in my opinion, and we'll be back above 6 figures. Not financial advice, but those are just my thoughts. I think that we're getting closer and closer to the end of the bear market, and usually that can mean a little bit more chop and downside before higher. Hello from Thailand. Where did you get the USDT USDC chart from? So I got this chart. If you guys want to have access to this chart, all you have to do is search this up on your trading view. So basically you're just adding USDT dominance, which a lot of people already look at, plus USDC. And the reason I add both of them is because it allows you to get a clear picture of the market with these stablecoins, the largest stablecoins by market cap. So it gives a clearer picture, in my opinion. Hello from Indonesia. Do you see Bitcoin heading towards those 60Ks? Yes, but maybe not yet, is my answer. I think that a lot of people are going to continuously tune out of crypto. I think that people are getting bored. I think that people don't have patience. And it's a shame because I think that great opportunities will come. Hello from Romania. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. I hope no one in this community lost their Bitcoin in the wallet hack. I hope so as well, guys. Your update about no live streams Monday, Tuesday was both professional and thoughtful. Thanks, man. So, my pleasure, first and foremost, Four Blades. I understand, guys, I understand. Like, if I say that I have a schedule, 95% of the time I follow that schedule. But, if I'm visiting friends and I have other plans and my internet connection isn't great, and believe me, I'm a little bit frustrated when I book a place and I spend thousands of dollars to book an Airbnb when I visit friends around the globe and they don't have really good connection. Some say Starlink, but guys, for long live streams streamed in like 4K, you need better connection than that. So basically, I'm gonna always keep you guys updated if things change. My actual summer schedule, the target summer schedule that I have is this. It's in the description down below. This is still relevant. Normally today I do a video update, but because it's been 2 days that we haven't done a live stream, and normally Monday, Tuesday I do a live stream, I thought, okay, Wednesday we do a live stream. Tomorrow we're likely gonna do a live stream. Friday I'll have another video update. But the thing with the video updates is that it's very difficult for me to not just repeat myself, and I feel as if I'm repeating myself. So anyways, let's see. But I'm glad I'm glad my update was helpful to you. I'm going to keep on telling you guys how the schedule changes. But I have to say, if you're not already in my community, which is a community that you trade with your own capital and you're not paying some kind of monthly membership, if you're not already in my community, I would recommend you join, because the end game for me is to keep updating my community, and there might be times where I take longer periods away from YouTube. So if you're serious about swing trading, I would recommend you join. Just DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram to join. You'll get access to not only my community, but for signing up and making one of these exchanges your go-to exchange to trade on, you also get access to the premium version of Mind Pillar. So, we're going to go over the investment thesis as well in today's live stream, because I think it's good to cover it live. And the stock market opens in approximately 11 minutes. Matt, I'm having a hard time connecting my Kraken to Telegram. I keep adding my Kraken ID, but Telegram keeps telling me that it's wrong. So your Kraken ID is basically it's called a public ID, and you can actually send that on Telegram, and I have a team member that will be able to process that if you signed up without my referral. So basically what this means is you can join the community if you're already trading on Kraken. There shouldn't be any issues there. The only issue there for now is that we have to do manual addition. Sorry guys, I'm tired. We have to give manual access to Mind Pillar, which takes a little bit more time. If you're trading on any of the other exchanges in the description down below with my referral, you already get access to Mind Pillar fully. Hello from Sydney. Thanks, Matt, for live streams and constructive trading strategies. My pleasure, Matt Tusi. My pleasure, Matt. Kali Compiler. Massive SpaceX unlock tomorrow. I was actually looking to trade SpaceX, and it's interesting, guys. This is not easy to trade. I mean, nice move up. You must have, like, if you took this long, had to take profits fast. Otherwise, you're out of the trade. So let's see. Perhaps after the unlocks, it could be an interesting period to consider a long on a little bit of a double bottom or something like that. But I'll keep you guys updated in the community if I decide to take that trade, as always. Legends, is the stream better now? No lagging? We're good? It's been a while since I got a comment saying that we're lagging, so I'm assuming it's going to be good. Bitcoin just grinding higher. Range bound. Hello from deep south in America. Love your content. Hate to say it, but I sleep better sitting on cash versus investing in crypto, says Dustin Prince. That's totally valid. Slick shoes, building liquidity to the downside. Matsur, take the VWAP from 66K. Sure. 66. Why 66K? Are you here? Why 66K? I guess you're talking about this local high. Yeah, no worries. We could do it with this local high. I'll do 66.8K because 66K, guys, is kind of random. If you mean 66.9, then yes, let's do it. So if we take the VWAP, so this is interesting. This doesn't give us much clarity, but you can see that it's been respected over here where we got that rejection down to the uptrending anchored VWAP from the actual low. So there's nothing to really say here. We got some closes above, we got some closes back below. This does not provide much clarity to me. Still holding a hype long, survived a week of red. Are you still bearish on Tau? Zia talks. It's not, I have to make it clear, guys. It's not that I'm necessarily bearish on Tau specifically, like I'm hating on Tau. Not at all. It's that I'm net short and I'm net bearish on the crypto markets. So even if Bitcoin pumps higher, I'm looking to add to my swing shorts. I've made that abundantly clear. And I already have a pretty big Tau short position, and the mark price is so far away from my average entry, and I've already taken profits that I'm simply just holding the position because I think that it can go lower. So I guess my answer is yes, I'm bearish on Tau only because I'm bearish on the crypto market. It has nothing to do with the project itself. I'm net short on crypto. The only long that I have on crypto right now is my Bitcoin long from $58,000, which is up around 90K. This one we also took in the community. Stock market. One of you guys asked about the stock market. Legends, how many times have we seen this with stocks where it looks like it's going to dump, it looks like, okay, it's finally going to break down, and then we just V-shape reverse and make a new all-time high. This is why, in case you didn't know, I've talked about it in the community before, I do have a significant amount of capital in the stock markets. I still think that we can get a correction, but I'm not interested to really enter any kind of a short trade here unless we get a drop back below the previous all-time high. But what a pump this is. What a pump. As long as this holds up, maybe crypto can get a little bit of strength, but let's be real, crypto is weak, relatively speaking. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Likely scenarios into the open one. Continuation of the Wednesday bearish drift. Base case, most historically supported. Wednesday showed the most consistent negative bias. Fair. Netherlands, Raymond. Nice. I do think we're building liquidity to the downside, by the way. I do think we're building liquidity to the downside. Check this out. Check this out. It's pretty damn even on these 6 month, but on the 24-hour, more people are getting interested in longs. So it's something for us to contend with. I'm going to show you guys something later in the live stream that I think will frustrate a lot of you, but I have to show it anyways because you know me, guys, I am brutally honest, if anything. All right, stock market opens in 2 minutes. We'll talk about that after. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do 60K. Yeah. I actually think this is a good one. $69K is winning. You guys are bullish. Stock market is officially open. The stock market is officially open. So, and we pump. Nice start to the session. Nice start to the session. Gemma Gov, what is up, my man? What is up? All right, legends. So we have Ty Yib that asked, after seeing it hard to convince to take a look, no liquidity to the upside. That, my man, is in fact a lie. Because if you take a look at the map, there is significant liquidity to the upside, guys. To the upside on the 6-month time frame, and I'm using this on MindPillar, you can see that there is just under 18 billion worth of upside liquidity versus 17 billion of downside liquidity. So it is relatively even. The highest cluster on the 6-month time frame is found here, right at around $67,000, which is the pivot that we took this short within the community. 66.8K, that's where we took that Bitcoin short, right at the downtrending anchored VWAP, which I'm still holding the position. Oh, dumpy. Let's see. We are still range bound until proven otherwise. Callie, watching my vacation, watching the stream from your vacation in Bali. Ever been there? No, I have not. I actually have been to Thailand multiple times, but not Bali. Welcome back. Thank you, Dr. Sneaker Tech. D Sneaker Tech. Hey brother, do you ever place trades live? Yes, I do. So far, we have placed 6 live trades and we have not lost a single one on the channel. Now, my live trades, I use way less capital than what you're seeing here on screen, simply because oftentimes the big swing trade positions and the confluence zones that I'm looking at aren't hit while I'm live. All my big trades, like you're seeing down here, where we shorted Bitcoin and we're up around $600,000 on this trade, and my Tau trade that I'm still holding, and the Bitcoin long from the lows, all of that, guys, is shared within my community. It is a community where you trade with your own capital. If you want to join, DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram, and you get access to that group where I share all of my own personal trades and my own market analysis. Links in the description down below if you'd like to join. And if you're already trading on something like Kraken, we can transfer you under me and you get to keep your existing trading account. You don't have to make any new accounts. If you want to join on these ones, then yes, you do need to make new accounts, but we have the best bonuses in the industry, and you get access to MindPillar, which is the tool that I use for my investments in the crypto market, as well as my lower time frame trading. I will produce tutorials for these tools as well, guys. $19.84 MG. You've been trying to join. But no one's responded in a week. Telegram bot says wait for human. Please send me another message and I will look into it. Send me another message actually right now if you can, so I can mark your message and send it to my team so they can get back to you. Wow, even gold is pumping. How is gold doing? By the way, you can trade gold, stocks, crypto, anything on Bluffin. XAUD. Wow. Gold is indeed looking very nice. What a move. Wow, that's a big move for gold on the daily. Little liquidity sweep. And now what? Now are we off to the races or what? Back to 64.1. Was that, guys, was that just a nice little sweep before higher on Bitcoin? Check it out. Check that out. I would love to see Bitcoin go higher. But ultimately, we are range bound right now. Nice. Couple of things here. I don't like how we're saying that you get some bots saying send someone a message on another group for access. Zohan, I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you use the link in my description down below and only use that link, you're reaching out to myself and my team. So don't use any other links you see online. Don't fall for scams. There's a lot of scams. Just don't. If you want to get access to my group or you want to use any of the exchanges that I'm using, just use the links in the description down below. That's it. Don't click anywhere else. You can maybe click here. See in the live chat, I have this thing called Nightbot that basically promotes my group. Aside from that, don't fall for anything, guys. Please. We all know why you want it to go higher, because you want to short it to be negative again. I mean, if we go higher, I'm still positive in the sense of I'm gonna take some more profits from my long. But yes, basically, yes. You guys are gonna see, I will turn into Mr. Positive when I think the bear market low is in, which I still don't think is in. Thoughts on a red August semi? My base case is that August will probably be red for Bitcoin. So we're currently up 1.85%. July was green. Let's talk about the previous bear markets, because I think that it's a good refresher for everyone that's watching the stream right now. But before we do that, if you haven't already, destroy that like button. How are we looking? 99 likes and we've been at it for an hour. Legends, let's pop this up for the first live stream back since Friday. All right. So, we've often made the comparison to 2018. This Bitcoin bear market has looked to almost replicate 2018. A lot of people were comparing it to 2022 when Bitcoin dropped to below $60,000, calling for a much uglier June than we got. And I was of the opinion that we could bounce from just below $60,000. But don't take my word for it. You guys can see here that I am still in my existing Bitcoin long from $58,000. This one was shared within the community as well. But in bear markets, we get summer relief rallies. This is pretty typical, nothing new. And in 2018, we rallied literally 21% in July before having a red August, September, October, November, and December. The rest of the year was red. And January, before things started picking back up again. Do I think this is the case? Not necessarily. However, I do think that August can end in red. In 2022, and sorry, just to add to the 2018 analysis, we'll go step by step. In 2018, Bitcoin had a significant drop at the beginning of the year. And you can see I already have it marked on my chart. And then into the summer, we swept that low, and then we had a nice relief rally, and that was the local top at the end of July. Right here. And then we broke down further in November, like aggressively further. In 2022, the difference was we managed to get a significant push down in June, like almost 40%. And on the charts, what this looks like is, you have that low that you establish at the beginning of the year. You break well below that low, and it's not just a sweep. And then you have a counter trend relief rally, summer relief rally, topping out by middle of August. So this is why you've often heard me say that I think the window of weakness for Bitcoin is getting closer and closer. The new window of weakness. Because these summer relief rallies can top out anywhere between end of July going into second, maybe third week of August. So if that is to repeat, there is a chance that we have potential more bullish price action before Bitcoin can drop further. There's a chance. And obviously 2026 is its own beast, but from what I can tell, it looks very similar to 2018, but it won't play out perfectly. If it does play out perfectly, then it would suggest that the top of this local relief rally is already in, which is where we took the other short within the community at $66,800. So I'm happy either way, but I would like to see higher. 2026, I think we have a bearish closing. Now, from a higher time frame perspective, one of the reasons why I think that we can potentially continue to push up is because we have a lot of untapped liquidity to the upside. So as Bitcoin continues to hold up here, the longs are piling in, and that is totally fine because we've seen this in a bear market where the longs can pile in only for us to drop further and liquidate all of those longs after we've done a little bit of a short squeeze. We did not get in the lower risk level for Bitcoin. We did not tap into Bitcoin's realized price, which is currently sitting below $53,000. Keep in mind, every bear market, we've also tapped into the balance price, but this doesn't have to happen. That sits at 37.6K. I will not wait that long. I promise you that. And Bitcoin's drawdown from all-time high, which we've discussed, is only around 54% at the lowest point of this bear market thus far. We're tracking previous cycles very well, guys. This is Very, very normal price action. Now, we must discuss the scenario that most people are probably dreading. And you want to know what that scenario is, legends? You want to know what that scenario is? It is a carbon copy of 2018. And the reason why that would be the most painful scenario is because not only would this relief rally extend and liquidate a lot of shorts and people would think that we're so back, but check out what happened in 2018 after the top of the summer relief rally. Almost a 3-month period of sideways price action. Could you handle that? Would you be able to handle that? Because I know that we have a lot of people that are obsessed with always being in a trade. And you know that that's something that I've advocated against. From a swing trading perspective, if nothing happens, then yes, I stay in my swing trades. But guys, could you imagine we get something like this? Would you be able to handle it? Let me know in the comments. Would you be able to handle this kind of price action? Where Bitcoin doesn't go anywhere for months. It's not choppy upside, it's sideways, basically straight. I think most people wouldn't be able to handle that, to be honest. But the market rewards those that are patient. And if you're a patient swing trader like me, you probably haven't taken on too many positions in this market. But I will consider adding to my existing shorts when I think the time is right. Otherwise, I sit on my hands and I am patient with my existing trades in this market. Someone says, bro, take a look at USDT dominance. We don't just take a look at USDT dominance, we take a look at USDT plus USDC. You want to look at both, not just one. And on the weekly time frame, it just looks like consolidation before higher, in my opinion. Someone said, I can't handle that. J. Kim, that's why I'm following you. Well, if that happens, guys, I promise you, I will still be alive and here and posting and updating you guys in the community during the most boring period of crypto. But I'm hoping it doesn't happen, because if we look at the 2022 scenario, so let's say maybe we get a mix of 2018, 2022, because 2026 is its own unique price action, it would suggest that we can actually just dump. What did we discuss, legends, about these questions? I think we nuke from here on BTC, so I added to my shorts. My liquidation is at 76K. Am I safe? UTOP 24. My man, I didn't live stream Monday and Tuesday, but I could have sworn you've asked a similar question at least 15 times across 15 different live streams. Like, come on, guys. People will never learn, says Lionel for King. Lionel. Matt, I am afraid of swing because if I lose, that's days worth of hope gone in a moment. I'm not sure what you mean. Days worth of hope gone in a moment. So you would prefer to be in day trades, get in and get out. That's totally fine, guys. I don't hate on day traders. I don't have anything against scalpers. When I started trading, that's what I was doing. But now that I have more capital, I am more than happy to enter positions and potentially make hundreds of thousands of dollars on a trade and just sit on my hands and watch as the trade develops. I would, like, if I was scalping, I would be using half the capital. I used to think in terms of liquidations until I looked at myself in the mirror and realized I couldn't accept losses. Not growing is low IQ behavior. I tend to agree, man. I tend to agree. No, it's good. Liquidation, like, guys, taking losses is totally fine. When you have invalidations, you respect those invalidations and you take your losses. Feliz trading, muchas gracias. Happy trading and lots of profits. I've accumulated a lot of cash selling options on IBIT. If Bitcoin takes a dump and I'm put some shares, I can wait it out. Nice stuff, man. Nice stuff. All right, guys. So 1 hour candle is about to close, and from getting that dump into the open, we're seeing Bitcoin continuing to hold up relatively well. Hey Matt, do you think 70K is possible still, or did the recent... Hey Matt, do you think 70K is still possible, or did the recent dump make it less likely? It is, technically speaking, a little bit less likely. The reason I say this is because you would have wanted to see Bitcoin push up a little bit more aggressively. Now, can it still happen? Technically, yes, because the 200-day moving average is above $70,000, which is where we topped out at in 2018. So it is indeed possible. But the clock is ticking, because when we talked about 70K being a possibility on Bitcoin, it's when we took this long from 58K within the community. I talked about it being a possibility because at that point, these lines on the chart were significantly higher. You had the bull market support band, the top of it, at 72K. Then you had the 200-day moving average sitting above 74K. But because price is still below these levels and it's that choppy upside price action, what this suggests is we're just getting compressed between the levels, and it's starting to look similar to 2018 in terms of that compression, but because the moving averages are trending downwards, it makes it less likely. We have to remember that there is a scenario where we don't even touch these lines and we just drop. There is a scenario where we pump above the levels. So let's see. Let's see. Pumpy. How do I control funding on a margin on week's exchange when you are in the correct direction and pullbacks cause one to fund more dollar in margin account? I don't really understand your question. Do you think you could rephrase? How do you control funding on a margin on... I do cross margin, guys. I don't recommend cross margin unless you either have a lot of capital and you're a more experienced trader. Sitting on my hands until one of them breaks, but happy to see my balance bounce around. My case, if we don't close higher than 64.6 on the 4 hour, we continue to chop unless something drastic happens with Iran. I think that what happens with Iran is irrelevant to the higher time frame scenario. Do you enter into a trade with tight stop loss or you give the trade more breathing room? It really depends. So if I enter a scalp, I will often wait for a $400 or $500 bounce and then move my stop loss to break even. If I enter a trade and it's a swing trade, then I have much, much wider invalidations. Never seen Elliott wave here or MACD or RSI. It's largely because I don't use it. I don't need to use Elliott wave theory to be a profitable trader. I think that MACD and RSI is largely overrated. So nothing wrong with it if you use it and it works for you. Everyone has their own strategies, but I don't need to use these things if I'm already making money in the way that I do, right? It's not necessary. And ultimately, I think for a large majority of people, it's just extra noise. Doom, doom, doom. Pump it. Pump it. Rabin Hassan, how is MicroStrategy for long term? Guys, I don't invest in MicroStrategy. I've talked about this before. I would rather own the underlying asset. I think that MicroStrategy is, how do I say this? Can it provide some upside volatility in a bull market? Yes. Can it maybe even do more multiples than Bitcoin? Yes. But from a strict investment standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint, I am not someone that invests in MicroStrategy because I'd rather trade and own the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin. Why invest in a company that invests in Bitcoin when you can just get into Bitcoin directly, right? Nice. The long is looking really good right now. But there is still 2 hours left for the 4-hour candle, so something that we have to consider. Legends, all the trades that you're seeing here, the long that I took from the lows, the short that I took that I'm still holding and I'm looking to add. When I take my next big trade, you'll know within the community. If you want to join, DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. It is not a paid community. There's a lot of communities out there that charge you $200, $300 a month. You're not paying to join my community. It's a group where you basically sign up with any of these affiliate exchange links down below. You make them your go-to trading platform, which Bluffin is mine, as you know, and you get access to my group. That's it. Whether you're trading with a few $1,000s, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, doesn't matter. We have traders of all sorts within the community, and I would highly recommend you join, particularly if you want to see how I've been swing trading this market. I am preparing a next potential trade, assuming Bitcoin can push up here. I'm gonna probably take some more profits from my long, which will also be shared in the community. Nikita says, Matt looks upset. I promise, guys, I am not upset. I am just a little bit tired. I woke up at 3:30 for my flight today. So, and as soon as I got back, I flicked on the camera. So right now we're trying to break above these prior wicks at 64.4, but as someone rightfully pointed out, you want to see continuation ideally above this upper level, 64.6. Crypto Man, hello Matsur, will you be adding to your short at 66K? No. You guys want to look at the CVD? We need to break above these highs. CVD lines. We'll add Bybit and Binance. We have a nice liquidity cluster at 64.9, so a pop up to that level would be nice. Legends, this tool as well that I'm using here, the footprint, the CVD, and my long-term Bitcoin investment charts are all accessible down below if you sign up and trade with me. So the way that it works is if you're already trading on any of these links down below, you get access to the premium version of Mind Pillar, which is my analytical tool that we've been building for quite some time. For free, essentially. So if you're already an active trader on any of these exchanges, you get access to everything I'm showing you on the stream. Let's see if we can get that pop up. Carlos says, I'll have to join your group another time. I had to join another group. I'm too new to this and I can't justify to my wife for taking $500 to trade. That's the thing, guys. The group is you trade with your own money. There's a lot of people that are trading with $500. There's a lot of people that are trading with 10,000, 100,000, and we even have a few people that are trading with a few $1 million within my community. You choose how much you trade with. But if you're not able to fork up $500 of your own money to trade with your own money, because the $500 does not go to me, it's your money to use to trade, then honestly, I would say that it doesn't make sense for you to even join the group until you build up a little bit more capital. That's what I would say. You know, most people that have groups, most of them are like paid monthly memberships, which is not what my group is about at all. But others would say, hey, I just want anyone and everyone to join my group. I don't think that it's responsible to join my community if you can't trade with $500 at least. It doesn't make sense. So we're providing educational resources on the YouTube channel all the time with the live streams, with the videos. And ideally, you can build up your capital before joining. I haven't digged into the new tool, but I think Devolt made an explanation video. Yeah, he might have. He might have. You should get some money green profit glasses. I should. Nikita, you're asking me about how I can make swing trading work for you. Yeah, it really depends how much capital you're working with, Nikita. Right? I understand. My style is not for everyone. That I take high probability trades at key confluence zones, and I enter with a little bit more size than day traders. We're pumping. Hey Matt, are you able to give us some advice on how you take profits on trades? How I take profits on trades. So first, when I take swing trades, the final TP zones are often adjusted if price moves considerably in my favor. So oftentimes I'll take a trade and the target is like a 4-for-1, 6-for-1 risk to reward, which is a great target. But I do not wait for that to happen before I take profits. So I'll have some interim profit taking zones along the way, just so I know that I paid myself on these swing trades. Then if I get very favorable price action, as it's ideally headed into my big take profit zone, I move my stop loss to break even, and then I sit comfy in my big swing trades. That's the gist of it. Corwin, you spoke about shorting the S&P. What is your plan? Corwin, yes, that was mentioned in the premium group, but I'm not going to enter a trade if we just keep on exploding, guys. This is like you're a fool to short this if you think it's just gonna. It's gambling, right? It's gambling. I have significant stock exposure, as we've discussed time and time again. So I'm very happy that stocks are making new all-time highs. But ultimately, if we manage to get deviation back below the previous all-time high, that could be interesting for me. But right now, this is just explosive price action, new all-time high, boom, just like that. So I'm not looking to do anything about it yet. So more than 50% are taken in the interim zones and maybe 20% is left for the target zone, something like that? Absolutely not. No. So I would say it's more 50-50. So I'll take 20% here, 10% here, 20% here, and then I could take a big chunk when we hit the big profit zone. For a scalping trade, if a trade is going against you straight after entering, how much USDT are you willing to lose? I mean, UE2613, guys, it really depends on how much, like you have to have invalidations, right? And you have to have, in most cases, hard stop losses. The reason I say most cases is because I often like using soft stop losses, but if you're an inexperienced trader, I don't think that it makes sense to do so. But it's based on the percentage of your trading portfolio. So if you only have, like if you have $500, your stop loss should be the equivalent of, assuming you entered with 1% of your trading portfolio, that means you want to only lose, or even if you, that would basically mean that you would only lose $5. Make sense? If you're trading with 500 and you have your stop loss set for 1% of your trading portfolio, you would only lose $5. In my case, it may be significantly more. And then there's some people in my group that are trading with tens of millions of dollars. Obviously, if there is a losing trade, they lose more. But if there's a winning trade, they win much more. It's based on your overall portfolio size, right? Why do I read the CVD? Well, I mean, the CVD is useful, particularly if you like scalping, because it tells you whether you have bearish or bullish CVD divergence, and it can actually give you some interesting entries and targets. So this is a general framework for the CVD that I would recommend people screenshot. I share it on most of my streams, but this is the gist of it. So if price is making a higher low and CVD is making a lower low, it basically means, you know, shorts are trying to push the price down, but they're not able to do so. But they've entered more aggressively than the previous pivot. And price manages to hold on, meaning we can pop out of there with the target at the local highs. This is relevant on all time frames. And same thing with the bearish case scenario. If tons of longs enter and more longs enter and we create a higher high in the CVD, however, price only manages to create a lower high and the target becomes the local low. So in this case, this is the 5-minute chart, right? There is, let me refresh this. There is potentially, on the 5 minutes, one moment, let's go Do we do 5 minute? On the 15 minute, there is potential bearish CVD divergence. So the reason why this is the case is because we have CVD making a higher high. This is for Bybit USDT. Now, it's not the case for Bybit USD. And if we take a look at the aggregate here, it's also not the case. So I would lean more towards the bullish CVD divergence, actually, which shows that shorts have been entering, and on the aggregate, we're also creating lower lows. So the target would effectively be above here. Have you calculated how much your profit to loss ratio is? Realized risk to reward ratio. Usually it's 3 or 4 to 1. So for example, in the past couple, let's just take past couple weeks. Some of you that are in the community know, that I have taken 2 losses of $30,000 plus. However, my long from the lows that we took is up $90,000, and I plan to secure over $500,000 on this trade. Sorry, over $100,000 on this trade. The $500,000 plus is my Bitcoin swing short. So oftentimes I do incur some losses, but the losses are always way less significant than the wins. And that's how I'm able to be a profitable trader. Some people like to do one-to-one risk to reward, and they just have a ton of winning trades, but they're very short, lower time frames. Everyone has their own strategy, right? Any strategy works. You just have to find the one that works for you and stick to it. And the majority of the work is done with proper risk management. That's it. If you know how to manage your risk, you're fine. You're fine, and you can be a profitable trader. I wholeheartedly believe that. If you want to see how I've been trading the market, these big swings that I take, and my plan, because some of you have been asking, okay, when are you adding to your Bitcoin short? You'll know in the community. DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram, and I'd be more than happy to add you to my group where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. I like the way you answer our questions. Big up, it is helpful. My pleasure, UE2613. Hey Matt, I sent you my Kraken account 1 week ago so I can join, but I am still on the group. Can you please check? Sometimes Kraken take a while with their referral transfers, but I can assure you that it will be sorted. Just send me another message so you pop up at the top of my Telegram, and we'll try to sort that out. Smashed it up, legends. Which level do you add to your shirt? This will be shared within the community. Which level I add to my short? In cross, do you often play with house money with actual break-even so that it is minus the TPs? I wouldn't say often, but I've done that before. And if every bear market bottom cycle shifts 1 month prior, December 2018, November 2022, October 2026, then why are you using similar months of August as a comparison for predictions? Well, if you look at the prior bear markets, despite them shifting 1 month prior, the summer relief rallies have been basically replicating in a very, very similar fashion. Look, I think that what we're seeing is time-based capitulation. Bitcoin will chop a lot of traders out and it will be very frustrating, but I think that at the end of the day, it's going to provide better buying opportunities. Now, if you've been in my community since I launched it, since Bitcoin was above $100,000, I have been vocal, not just in my community, but on the channel, calling for a sub $60,000 Bitcoin, and that is the starting point for accumulation. We went below $60,000. Now we're pumping up a little bit more. Do I think we can go lower? The answer is yes, but it was still a good zone to start DCing into Bitcoin, and a lot of my community members have done so. However, just curious, do you plan to dress up for Halloween? If so, what will you be? It really depends. Look, if I'm around with my partner, my girlfriend, then perhaps. But if I'm alone, unless I'm going to a party, I don't really think that far ahead. Halloween is very far away, man. I have a 30, guys, listen to this comment. Listen to this comment. This is what I mean. I have a 30% win rate, but I'm up $3,500 because I let my wins run so deep. Bankroll management is important. There are tons of traders out there that have sub 50% win rates, but they are still profitable. And this is totally possible. Some of you don't understand the math. If your wins greatly exceed your losses, this is more than possible. Some people prefer to have a 50, 60, 70% win rate. What I'm trying to get at is it doesn't matter. You can still be profitable regardless of what strategy you have, regardless of your win rate. But obviously if the win rate is lower, you have to make sure that you're really milking the profits on your positions. Do you scalp? Sometimes. SP SpaceX is pumping. I mean, yeah, a little bit. This is starting to look like a pretty decent 4-hour candle if we can close above these prior wicks. 64.5. That looks good if we close above there. 64.5, legends. Can Bitcoin do it? King K, smash it up, legends. Yes, yes, yes. Latest update on the Clarity Act. Shall we look at it together? Senator John Kennedy calls for an immediate Senate vote on the Clarity Act. We need to vote on the crypto bill. We've spent years on it. If we're waiting for consensus, it's not going to happen. Senator Cynthia Loomis came out and said she believes they will get a vote on the Clarity Act before August recess, get people on the record after 11 months of negotiating with Democrats and adding 300 plus pages to the bill at their request. It's just time to get people on the record. The Senate has 2 days to pass the Crypto Clarity Act before leaving for summer recess. Sorry, Matt, if this was already asked. Do you think Bitcoin can get above 70K before coming down one last time this year? CryptoFace thinks we bottomed already. Oof. Guys, CryptoFace is a pretty solid trader as well. Everyone has their own opinion, right? This is what's so beautiful about trading. There's always going to be someone that thinks differently than you. And that's what makes the markets as they are. If everyone thought that we already bottomed out, it wouldn't work. If everyone thought that Bitcoin was going to move lower, it wouldn't work. So we are pretty split, and this is exemplified on this liquidity heat map. There's an equal amount. Basically, to the upside, there's around 18.5 billion worth of shorts in the market. To the downside, there's around 17.16 billion worth of longs. So it is very, very even. Now, what I would say is I like this in the sense of it would be perfect for the market makers to grab that upside liquidity before sending us lower. And the reason I say this is, well, there's multiple reasons. Number one, I don't think that Bitcoin has necessarily bottomed, because the trend is still down. And we have seen what we're seeing right now on this little relief rally. And I'll remind you guys, I am not a perma bear. I went long at $58,000 and I'm still up $90,000 on this position, having realized around 60K within the group. But based on what I'm seeing here, this relief rally looks very, very similar in terms of how the liquidity is developing to the other relief rallies that we had this bear market. So I still think that we can head lower. Now, to answer that other part of your question, 70K, I think that the odds of us breaking back above 70K have decreased because of the price action that we're getting, which is just extremely, extremely choppy. So basically, to answer your question, I think we go lower. I think that 70K will be hard to hit. And another reason why I think we will go lower, outside of building up this liquidity, because what happens is price stabilizes, we chop, then we have a lot of shorts entering thinking that that was the top. We go and we liquidate those shorts, and as we liquidate those shorts, everyone's like, okay, I'm bullish now. The bottom is in. So we get an influx of longs jumping in, and we're already seeing this on the 24-hour, more longs in the markets. On the 1 week, more longs in the markets. On the 1 month, more longs in the markets. And how about the 3 month? Now more longs in the market. So liquidity to the downside is building up. And this is very similar to what happened in the previous relief rallies. Plus, we have the fact that from a Bitcoin historical risk level perspective, we have not really stayed within that bottom risk level, or we haven't really tapped into it, which is this dark blue. Now, granted, every cycle, we rarely get into the dark blue, or it gets less and less into the dark blue if we're talking about bear market bottoms. And so perhaps that we don't make it to the dark blue, But even in light blue, I think that this ends up dropping lower into the lower risk metrics. And we also have the Bitcoin terminal price, which is something that we've discussed on the channel. This chart has been helpful in guiding us in previous bear markets. Again, none of these things have a 100% hit rate. These are all just metrics that we can use to add confluence to our analysis. And the Bitcoin realized price is just below $53,000. I think that we tap into the Bitcoin realized price this bear market. The balance price, which we tend to always tap into as well, is actually at below 38K. I'm not calling for that necessarily. I wouldn't wait for that to accumulate Bitcoin, but it's something that we have to understand because we've also tapped into these levels before. Then we take a look at Bitcoin's drawdown from all-time high. And yes, we know every single cycle, the drawdown from all-time high to bear market low is less and less. First cycle, 93%. Second cycle, 85%. Third cycle, 84. Then we have 77. Now this one, so far, we've dropped at most 54% from the all-time high. Right? Still don't think it's sufficient. I think we drop less than the previous cycles, which is the trend that we've been seeing. So this is not me being a perma-bear, it's me being a little bit more realistic. I think that the bottom will be somewhere between 60 to 70% from Bitcoin's all-time high. And you know my grand target, the main area that I would love for Bitcoin to hit, and we don't always get what we want, but I would think that it would be absolutely epic for Bitcoin to fill the August 2024 summer wick. That was the 2024 summer low before we had a big move to the upside. This is the weekly time frame, so that was an absolutely massive wick, as you can see here on the left of my chart. And that puts Bitcoin just below $50,000. So let's see how it plays out. I have been vocally bearish the entirety of the bear market. I've been adding to my shorts. I've been taking profits on the way down within the community. I've been really milking profits in this bear market. I've made multiple six figures, and I continue to do the same. But I think that the bear market is pretty much getting close to an end within the next coming months. If you're trying to be a trader, a legit trader, you need to lose the bear and bull team tribalism. It may feel cool to think you're playing on a team. I assure you the market does not give a fuck. I completely agree with this. However, it is, I don't use it to say, oh, I'm a bear, I'm a bull. But I'm a bear and a bull on a temporary basis, if that makes sense. I do think that it's structurally relevant. If you're a swing trader, not a scalper, not a day trader, I think it's structurally relevant and it's very important to have a clear picture of the market. And that clear picture has been that we are creating lower highs and lower lows. And this is what a bear market actually is. This is bearish market structure, right? So this helps me as a swing trader to explain my thoughts, but also it keeps me grounded in terms of where the trend is headed. And we are still headed down based on this structure. So that's why I'm able to enter highly probable swing trades at every single local peak in the market. Short trades as a swing trader. But this will change. This will absolutely change, and we will take advantage of it in the community. Bear bull chimera. Would you consider that we will never go below, say, 53K this cycle? What does that mean, Chris, when you say, would I consider? I would consider anything. If price action tells me, then yeah, absolutely. You know the saying, strong opinions loosely held. I think a lot of you guys follow me on the channel because I'm pretty vocal about what I think could happen next in the market, for better or for worse. And it's been helpful for a lot of you over the course of this bear market. But if price action suggests that Bitcoin wants to move higher and structurally start the bull market, then so be it. And we basically just accept that and trade the market that's right in front of us. How many times have you heard me say, trade the market that is right in front of you? Anoop says, Matt, some of the mainstream credible TA are charting Bitcoin to fall below 20K to bottom out. Do you agree with them? No, I do not agree with them. No. Legends, if you haven't already, make sure to destroy that like button, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We've been at it for 2 hours so far. We will extend it a little bit more. Of course we will. Bitcoin is trying to make a move here. Forex Chris. It's just strange that everyone knows and waiting for below 50K, 40K to get in the train. Well, Bitcoin never does what street wants. Just thinking. I completely agree with you, Chris, and that's why within the community, when Bitcoin was above $100,000, I told my community members that deep value begins sub 60K. So you slowly, and this ties into one of the other questions I just read, what is my investment thesis? This ties into slowly dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin on the way down when we're in deep value zones, right? I trade the market and I'm gonna make as much money as possible taking longs, taking shorts, and right now I'm very comfy in all my positions. But I tend to agree with you, Chris. If everyone thinks something will happen, then it probably won't happen. But I tend to disagree with you in the sense of I don't think that everyone is waiting for that. I see a lot of people that are currently bullish calling for the bottom. We just had someone now on the channel saying that CryptoFace, who's a pretty solid trader, says that the bottom is in. So there's some people that do believe that Bitcoin can go higher, and this is also exemplified by the liquidity. We have a lot of longs jumping in. From a seasonality perspective, the window of weakness can start anywhere from end of July to mid to late August, right? So the idea is you will never get the perfect bottom, but it's being okay with that and slowly dollar cost averaging and getting that exposure that you're looking for. Rabin Hassan, which exchanges can I join without KYC? Check the links in the description down below. There are some options. Let's go, Bitcoin. Let's see a move. Send it higher. Frank said gold is on a rocket right now. How is gold looking? Wow. We are on a rocket. Holy smokes. That's a big move on gold. Almost 5% on the day. That's big. Big, big, big moves. Ha! Guys, you know, you see me often talk about anchored VWAPs and pivots in the market and value area high, value area low. Guys, the anchored VWAP is so overpowered in some scenarios. Look at this. This is a weekly time frame for tech stocks. We drop, you take the anchored VWAP from the pivot low, and price remained above it for so long. Then you have a massive drop, and the weekly close was back above the anchored VWAP, which is like, to put it simply, easy long trigger. I didn't take this because I wasn't looking at it, but wow. This is just very, very impressive how things work. What a move. What a move. And guys, you can trade stocks and literally everything on Bluffin with the links in the description down below. You also get 25% off all of your trading fees if you'd like to join. It's where I trade everything. Insane, insane, insane. Hi Matt, is gold's price action determined by the business cycle or is it more macroeconomics? It's a mix of the two. Jonathan Miller, hello my man, hope you're well. Grigor, yes, reclaiming it. Legends, let's also talk about the anchored VWAP on Bitcoin. It's absolutely amazing how it works. One of the most underrated things to use in the markets. I don't know why more people don't do it. Actually, you know what? I know why more people don't do it. It's because more people are gambling addicts and they can't wait for price to hit a certain level. That's why. Sorry, I'm just calling it how I see it. But look at this, guys. Again, price holds, hits the point of control of the range, and would you look at that on Bitcoin? Perfectly retesting the uptrending anchored VWAP from which pivot, you might ask? The easiest pivot in the markets. The bear market low so far. Drop below, reclaim. Resistance. This was my short trigger, guys. Reminder, you see this peak over here in the community? We went short right at around here. Right here. I have the receipts. I took 15K out of this trade. A little bit prematurely, let's be real, but I'm still holding some of the position. Entry, 66,800. That's what I call looking for those highly probabilistic trades, those high confluence zones. And the anchored VWAP taken from pivot to pivot, even if it's not the low or the high, like the absolute high, because I am actually hoping that Bitcoin can push higher, it always tends to provide at least some kind of reaction from the level, especially if you're taking it from such a critical pivot, like the local top that we had up here on that first Clarity Act pump, where we also went short within the community. So some of you guys ask me, okay, how are you getting these crazy entries? Anchored VWAP, most of the time. And if you see that the liquidity is piling up around there too, it just adds that extra layer of confluence. My man Matt Tuscan AZ here, my man. Good morning, I just hopped on and I'm driving. What's the update so I can hear you on my AirPods? Sorry guys, speaking of AirPods, you know what's so annoying? I was sitting next to a guy on a train and my AirPods got stolen and I'm pretty sure this guy stole them. And I could see them on my Find My iPhone, Find My devices, and I see it. And I'm debating whether or not I should just go and drive up to the guy's place and just knock at his door and say, hey, Gave me my stuff back. But just giving you a recap here, basically Bitcoin is chopping around. We're holding above the point of control of our range since June. We're holding above the anchored VWAP from the low of this bear market so far, which suggests potential continuation in my opinion. We have a lot of shorts that have piled in. Yes, of course, we have a lot of longs, but what I'm getting at with the whole long thing is I hope that we can deal with those longs later. For now, I would like to see us just grind, chop, create that downside liquidity, short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze, short squeeze, and then down. And ideally, I have the chance to add to my massive swing shorts. UE says most of daily traders lose the money unless they do very few trades. Recently, I changed my strategy, started taking swing trades where I use a wider invalidation level, much better. I tend to agree. Why don't you go to the police? Just not worth it. Five years ago, I'd say yes, rock up to the house. These days, you could get stabbed. That's fair. But guys, they're just AirPods, right? It's like the time spent. It's just not worth it. I might just buy new ones. They won't really help exactly. Matt, one more request. Could you do a quick explanation on where you anchor your VWAP? I think a lot of us would find that helpful. Lymph Pro and J Beers as well, my man. You said that I was pretty vague, but I don't think I was vague last time I explained the anchored VWAP. You literally just take it from a pivot in the market. What a pivot means is the high or the low. So you see how Bitcoin, let's just take this as an example. So you see how Bitcoin made this local high at $82,800? Well, price dropped, and then we were all the way down here. So it's been a few days, weeks even, that Bitcoin has dropped from this level. That is the point where, okay, I'm looking for new trading opportunities. What can I eye here? We take it from the pivot, and this line creates itself. Now, you can see we're nowhere near the line as Bitcoin was chopping to the upside. Nowhere near it, nowhere near it, nowhere near it. And then once we tap into it, that's when you get that local resistance. And same thing with this pivot low. It is the low. Some people use it on the lower time frames, but as a swing trader, I prefer not to be honest. And this other one that I have up here is actually taken from the all-time high. And we get the reaction. We rejected right before tapping into it. This is where I actually entered my initial Bitcoin short, which is still up over $600,000, and it was shared within the community. So you just take it from a pivot in the market, or if you want to, you can also take it from the start of a period. So you can go like 3 months back, whatever you'd like to do. But for the most part, I have the most success taking it from a significant pivot, so a local high or a local low in the market. Hey legends, much love. Devault Trading, my man, I hope you're well. So it rejected off the anchored VWAP all-time high or local high. So what I'm looking at here, like this rejection, this big short trade that we took, which was the start of my initial big short, we rejected from the anchored VWAP taken from the all-time high. But you can see every time Bitcoin tapped into it, even when we broke just above it, we rejected. Very, very helpful tool. But you know what I think here, guys. I still think that Bitcoin can push up. I would like to see it push up. And if we close the 4-hour candle like this above this pivot high, it could be interesting for some more upside. Cali Compiler says, I look like a felon, so I usually don't get things stolen from me. Nice. Matt, do you think the VWAP is worth using on lower time frames, or is there too much noise for it to be reliable? I think that it is less reliable on the lower time frames. As always, the higher the time frame, the more reliable things are. What's your go-to AI, Matt? Claude. It really depends what you want to use it for, but pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. Vamos! Pump it. Send it. Send it. Send it. I can't wait for the bull market where we don't get excited about $300 moves. But for now, this is nice. Now we see, we got 50 minutes until 50 minutes until the 4-hour candle close. So we got a while, but you want to see this sustain higher. Cali Compiler says, my pops says hi. Tell your pops I say hi as well. BTC breaking. I guess you mean breaking to the upside, but the way you wrote breaking, it's actually accelerating, not breaking. Iran news, stock market front ran, then an hour and a half later, Bitcoin pumps. Let's hit that 200 MA. I don't know if we make it all the way up to the 200 MA, but it'd be interesting. For Macron, how did you know to start the VWAP all the way back to March instead of the dip in May or June? Let's take a look at that after. For now, Bitcoin's pumping. Once we start to get boring price action, again, I'll take a look. Girl has it all. Jessica. Trading has helped me understand human emotions. Weekly point of control. What are the key levels that you're looking for this price action? Gonna blow right through that level. Resistance at $65,100. I love it. I love it. Legends. Legends, we have an issue. We have an issue. And the issue is that I need to use the washroom. And whenever I use the washroom, Bitcoin tends to go down. So I would like to see this pump continue. I would like to see this pump continue, but I must use the washroom relatively soon. Purchase Media, going to see Dave Chappelle live in London tonight. You a fan? Yeah, man, that guy's epic. Awesome, that should be a great experience. No caps, I get a warning. Yes, guys, if you type in all caps, you will get blocked by my bot. Legends, I think I'm gonna be entering a trade relatively soon in the community if Bitcoin can get that push higher. I'll let you guys know, but if you want to join the community, please remember, just DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. It's a community where you trade with your own capital. You don't pay me to join the group. It's not a monthly membership. You trade with your own money. We have members that have joined and are trading with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on Bluffin. We have some traders that are trading with $500, $1,000. If you'd like to join the community, you know where to find me, and it's where I share all of my own personal trades. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go to the washroom quickly. And I'm gonna also make a coffee. Don't dump it too far, guys, please. All right. Thanks. Did you guys dump it? It looks okay. It looks relatively okay. Every time. Every time. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, guys. I have some food as well. Guys, who else is depressed that the stock market can just make all-time highs and Bitcoin struggles? I mean, we're not surprised. We're used to it at this point, right? Really interesting candle about to form here. Outside of crypto and trading, do you have any hobbies? Yes. I do snowboard as well, my man, off the grid, but naturally only in the winter. I mainly play football, so soccer to some of you, and tennis, and I also work out. I might do some more marathons. I thoroughly enjoyed training. Mikal says he's sick of the slow grind and choppy market. He needs some explosion in whatever direction. And that's how bear markets get you guys. He used to be a professional volleyball player, but he doesn't like talking about it. I'm not tall enough to be a professional volleyball player, guys. I'm only like 5'10". He used to be... Football, though, that's my cup of tea. Football, tennis. The ones that get smacked are always the same people who FOMO in on something, being it crypto or stocks. That is true. Stand on your money, dog. That's true. That's true. We are range bound, and this is pretty boring, isn't it, guys? But when there's an opportunity to enter a good swing trade, I will let you know in the community. That's my promise to you if you're in the community. $5.10 the nugget. So from an ETF perspective, guys, it is pretty interesting that we're still getting some buying pressure. And from the Coinbase side of things, Coinbase Premium Index, if I refresh this page, you'll notice we're slowly trending again. We're not in green, we're far from it. But as long as we can continue this trend, a low, this is when Bitcoin went to 57.7, the low, to potentially a higher low here. Maybe we just push on higher. I'd be looking to trade this. Hello, Metzir. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello, Rick Ty. My man. Guys, Would you suggest me to go to college after high school or just get a full-time job to make as much money to invest in crypto? First and foremost, I don't think that you should take all your money and invest in crypto. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think that there's other opportunities elsewhere from an investment standpoint if we're talking slow and continuous growth. Can you make a lot of money in crypto? The answer is yes. Is it more difficult at this point? Probably. So if you mean take your money and trade crypto, that might be a different thing. Trading is a little bit difficult and it takes years of perseverance, but once you get the hang of it, it is one of the most rewarding things ever. So to answer your question, the way that I do things is I have my investments, but I also have a good amount of capital that I'm willing to trade the markets with. So you want to have a little bit of a balance. This isn't financial advice, this is just what I personally do. And as Icy Shots just said, the best investment is in yourself, and that is education. And it doesn't have to be formal education. There's a lot of online education. So, and nowadays, there's so many free resources. College or university is not necessary. Like, I went to university and I had a lot of fun, but I wouldn't say it contributed to my success. Luke TV, it does require you to trade a little bit to get the reduced fees. I would like to see Bitcoin push up here aggressively. $23 minutes. 23 minutes until the 4-hour candle close. We're struggling a little bit here. Billy says he totally agrees. Did 31 years of education, double doctoral, do something you love, colleges, universities isn't a requirement. Completely agree. That's the thing, there's nothing wrong with colleges or universities. It's not a requirement, but if you want to go, you go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. You don't need it to be successful in life. This has been a thing that's been pushed from generation to generation. And at a certain extent, it did give you an advantage. But nowadays, in the age of social media, in the age of AI, you don't need that to be successful. Bro, almost deposited 550, but your bot shows almost there. If you did, if you signed up with me, and that's the case, it may take 24 hours. So check again within 24 hours. When we go below 57K, where do you think the stocks will go? I mean, how low? Let's say the SPY. I think that the next low probably coincides with the stock market getting, I don't know. I'm just not in the business of calling tops for the stock market. But probably, let's see. It's been a while since we checked into the 200 day moving average. Let's see. I think that we can drop, like, it's been a while since we've had like a proper 15% correction or something, which might sound crazy. But I'm not in the business of calling for the biggest stock market crash of all time, because as you guys know, I do hold stocks. I invest in the stock markets. Nice, nice. This is what we want to see. Come on. But yeah, there are no absolutes, guys. I'm saying from a probabilistic perspective, Bitcoin can break below its low, but it doesn't have to happen. It's still my base case, but it's important to say that anything can happen. And a lot of people don't like the probabilistic nature of trading. And to that, I would say that trading is not for you then. UTOP 24. UTOP 24. Can you please confirm if you're a bot? Because I see you in all my live streams and you ask for if you should go short or long based on your liquidation price. You would say like, hey, this is my liquidation price. Will it get hit? I think you've asked that question 18 times. Also, if you've been watching the streams, can anyone answer this question that is being asked? Do you use value area highs and value area lows of the volume profile when trading? What? I don't mean to sound rude, but because you've been watching for several weeks to maybe even months, this is an easy question to answer. Like, you should know this. It shouldn't even be a question. So either I'm not explaining things properly, which is always possible, or you're not paying attention. But the answer is yes, of course. Four-hour close is in less than 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes, guys. For VWAP, no, I don't use upper and lower bands. Do you think you can be profitable scalping meme coins? You can be profitable scalping anything. If you find an edge scalping meme coins, then I don't want to be the one to stop you. If you're making consistent profits doing so, you can do it. But I have personally found that trading Bitcoin is the most reliable thing to trade. Manny Report says, what do you think about a short entry here? I am still holding my existing big swing shorts on Bitcoin that were shared within the community. I don't feel compelled to add to my short here, mainly because it looks like we're trying to push higher. We've had very boring price action in the last 24 hours. And the thing that's notable here is the 62.5K pivot has proven as support multiple times here. We had a nice move to the upside. We got rejected at the point of control, but normally if it's going to be a sharp rejection, you would expect it to just explode to the downside. What happened was we dumped, but we managed to hold on to the uptrending anchored VWAP from the low, taken at 57,700. And so to me, this is actually a sign of strength. And it's also in line with what we've been discussing, how the relief rally can continue. The key level to really break past would be up here, because then this would suggest that perhaps the structure is changing for Bitcoin. And what I mean by this is this wouldn't just be another lower high. Because if you're on the 4-hour chart, we're making lower highs and lower lows. So you want to see Bitcoin ideally pump another $1,000 and break above the value area high. What do I think of SpaceX? I think that SpaceX will ultimately perform well over a long enough time horizon. But right now, I think that trading SpaceX is akin to gambling. If we tap into the low again, it could be interesting. But like this is the daily chart, right? Huge spike above 130. And then today we dropped to 109. So this could be the start. But I don't have an edge trading this. And I don't trade things that I don't feel like I have an edge on. How much you mean to me. How much is your win rate this year? Like we discussed in the previous example, one guy mentioned that his win rate is 30% and he still is net profitable because his wins greatly exceed his losses, like I've been preaching to you guys on the channel. I'm gonna start doing a little bit more proper tracking of it. I think it could be interesting. But prior to this month, my win rate was above 60%, and it has technically dropped because I lost 2 of my last trades. 2 of my last most recent trades. But when I lose way less than when I win. When I win, it's now not uncommon for me to make multiple 6 figures or 6 figures on a trade. When I lose, it's usually between 20 to 40K based on my overall trading portfolio. So that's how it goes. Jessica says, it's hard to believe that you can lose. Oh, well, believe me. I'm sure there's some of you that are in the premium group that are tuning into the live stream now. I lost my last 2 trades, guys. But I'm happy with the risk that I take on my trades. And I'm sure that one of the next wins that I have will be a 6-figure win. That's the thing. So it really depends on when you size in, how much risk you're taking, how do you manage your overall trading portfolio. You know? But yes, I can assure you guys, I do lose. I do lose. And anyone that says that they never lose is, say it with me, full of crap. They're trying to sell you a course or they're trying to sell you a paid community. My community is not paid, guys. When you take profits, do you take partials or just wait for full TP? I take partials. So usually from a swing trading perspective, I would say that I go for like 3 for 1, 4 for 1 risk to reward. But oftentimes at 2 to 1, I'll already take some partials from the trade. Right? It's just basic stuff. I always pay myself because then if the trade ends up going in the opposite direction, at least I've paid myself and I've taken some profits and I can move on to the next. 4-hour close soon. Yes, the 4-hour close is in approximately 9 minutes from now, guys. We've been live streaming for just over 3 hours. If you're enjoying it so far, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and join the community. Didn't expect this stream, but glad you did it. Are you live tomorrow? Yes, guys, I will go live tomorrow as per the regular schedule. I will go live tomorrow. Today's not supposed to be a stream, but because I missed my last 2 streams because I was traveling, seeing friends, I decided to flick on the live stream today. And we probably will rip it for longer tomorrow as well. Bro, your calmness, it's commonizing. You're sick. Thank you, Abu Zain, I appreciate it. I wasn't always this calm. What is a realistic monthly percentage gain on a portfolio trading Bitcoin with proper risk to reward, like 1 to 2% per trade? It really depends, right? I can't give you an answer because it depends on It depends on the price action. When you have very bearish price action and you're in an existing swing short, it's easy to make a lot of profits percentage-wise. But then some months, like there's been times where I haven't taken a trade in weeks, as a swing trader at least. So it really, really depends what type of trader you are. How exactly do you go about paying yourself? Do you have steps, percentages? Basically, my general rule of thumb is I have a target trading portfolio goal, which I always maintain, and I withdraw when I surpass that. And that's it. So that's what I say. When I say I pay myself, there's two versions of that. The first one is obviously taking profits from the trade, and the second one is sending those profits away from crypto. So far, you're the most level-headed trader on YouTube. You honestly remind me of myself. That's why I'm here. Awesome, Jessica. Happy about it. Oops. 1 hour candle starting to look bearish and potential divergence forming. Yep. The GOAT debate. Ronaldo, Messi, Metzger, CBM. My man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Guys, if you want to join the community and see how I've been trading this market, how we've been absolutely crushing this bear market, DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram to join my group. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. I would highly recommend you join if you haven't already. It's where all the trades that you're seeing here, the multiple six figures in profit on my big Bitcoin short, which I still plan to add to, as well as my Bitcoin long from the lows, all of these were publicly taken within my community. So if you're interested in being a swing trader, if you're trading with a little bit more capital, I think my group is probably perfect for you. Let's see if we can close above all the wicks, but right now it doesn't look likely. Right up until the close, guys, we're getting this little bit of dumpy price action. Generally, you would like to see Bitcoin, if you're bullish here, close above 64,515. So we need to pump another $100 in 4 minutes. Come on, Bitcoin. Do something. We're struggling, guys. We're struggling here. Yeah, stocks are rolling over, so naturally it doesn't help Bitcoin. But stocks are comfortably above their all-time highs now. Less than 2 minutes. I would like to see a $200 pump on Bitcoin. I don't think it'll happen. Hey Matt, I think Bitcoin will sweep the poor lows first at 61K before sweeping 65. What do you think? That is an interesting one. Guys, 61K is very significant because it's the value area low. And I'm pretty sure it's also the golden pocket. So that is a very, very interesting potential long zone. But we're nowhere near there for now. Twenty seconds. All right, the 4-hour candle closes in. It's an okay candle. I would have preferred, like it's still a decent 4-hour candle, guys, but I would have preferred that we break above this pivot, at least the first pivot. We have a couple of pivots that we broke through, like this one. So it's technically okay. But you can see how many times we've wicked above the level, and you want to get a close above, ideally 64.5K. So let's see how this plays out. The ball is I would say the ball is currently in the bear's court to keep price suppressed here. Let's see how this develops, guys. For today, I think we call it a wrap. It's been 3 hours and 13 minutes. Tomorrow's live stream will probably be a little bit longer. Just got back from my travels. I hope everyone enjoyed the live stream. If you haven't already, I would recommend that you join the community because there are some interesting levels that I'm looking at to trigger a new trade on Bitcoin. I may be looking to enter trades on the stock market as well. If you want to join, remember you have the first link in the description down below. If you enjoyed the content, as always, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and I will see you in tomorrow's live stream.